Gareth Southgate is a disgrace. That is it. The bottom line. Simple. Sack him tonight. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not at the end of the tournament. Sack him tonight. There is no other words to describe Gareth Southgate other than utterly shambolic. This is a performance like the others that we have seen in England shirts with world-class players that are playing like farmers. And it is literally nothing else to say other than sack him. I'm in a situation, guys, where I'm actually not enjoying the games. I used to get well up for the Euros, well up for the World Cup, well up for England playing. I used to love going out. I used to love going and seeing it in the pubs. I'm not interested in watching any of this football. It is dire. It is poor. It is boring. It is shambolic. There's no players out there that I look at and think, yeah, that's the Phil Foden of City. That's the Declan Rice who's dominated Arsenal's midfield. That's the Bukayo Saka we know and love. That's the Harry Kane who gets top golden boot scorer every single year. That's the John Stones who's won everything in football. That's Jude Bellingham who's up for the Ballon d'Or. Nah, I don't see any of that. And I'm all for putting a lot of pressure on the players to deliver. But when you have this amount of players that are all playing badly, it can't be every single one of these players just don't like playing for England. I won't have that. I'm not having it. And I'll tell you why I'm not having it. Because there is enough quality on that pitch to be able to get them to play together. And for whatever reason, Gareth Southgate is not interested in any free-flowing football. He's not interested in creativity. He's not interested in trying to allow the players to express themselves. There's no individual pieces of brilliance on show because, let's be real, they're clearly not allowed to express themselves. I've been calling this manager out for a long time now. It feels like quite a while. I was not impressed with him in the tournament where we lost to Croatia in the semi-finals of the World Cup. I wasn't. The reason I wasn't impressed is because when we went 1-0 up with a Kieran Trippier free kick, we sat back and we shit ourselves. And that's exactly what we've done in every single tournament since then. Against Croatia, we should have gone through. Why? One, because we were the better side. Two, because we were 1-0 up. And then we had to go for the kill, and we didn't. We sat back, we let them equalise, and we lost it in extra time. Then everybody got gassed by this manager because he'd finally got us through to a semi-final, albeit, by the way, that we'd beaten very poor teams on the route to that semi-final. But then we were allowed to give him another tournament, and then he could get us all the way to the final. And what did we do? Pretty much the same thing. In 3 minutes, we score. Luke Shaw, first few minutes of the game, everyone's excited. Wow, early goal. Now what do? We go and push again. We go and make this 2, 3 or 4. They're on the ropes. We don't do that. Under Gareth Southgate, we sit back and we allow all of the pressure. And then what happens? They equalise and we go into a penalty shootout and we decide not just to go out in a way that we have previously in other managers. When I think of Argentina in 98, when I think of Germany in 96, this manager decides to pick 3 of the youngest players to take our penalties in Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford. And we go out in the final. When being 1-0 up, sitting back was apparently his answer to trying to win the competition. We get knocked out. He gets given another tournament. In that other tournament, we get France, a good side, I have you know. Harry Kane, yeah, listen, he puts it over the bar. Fair play. You can blame Harry Kane for that if you want to. But how about look at what the manager did that game that people forget about? Our best player was Bukayo Saka and he took him off. He played Harry Maguire at the back, a guy that's not good enough, got out-jumped and beaten by Olivier Giroud. And then he decides at that time to bring on Jack Grealish in the 94th minute. Poor decision-making. And we went out. And then what happens? He gets another tournament. He gets given another tournament. Because people think this guy is such a genius because he's got more wins than since Ralph Ramsey. And all of a sudden, this guy's now been given the Messiah ring. Oh, my God, this guy is brilliant. Let's look at the players he's been given. The squad he has been given is the best it's been in years, and he should have won a tournament by now. Ask yourself this, people. Would Eddie Howe have won a tournament by now? Probably. Would Graham Potter have won a tournament by now? Probably. I tell you who would have. Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, Klopp, Pep, Diego Simeone. Do you get my drift here? What is the difference with them? They're all good managers. Some of them, not world class. But I tell you what they are, better than the Middlesbrough manager that we've got. Because the guy we're trying to get winning stuff with has done nothing in the game. Nothing in the game. good centre-half, good footballer, got into management, managed the under-21s, and I'm sorry, there's no way this guy should be anywhere near England. Shouldn't be. Not good enough. Not good enough. Get rid of him. And I'll tell you why we should sack him tonight. Because those players have no idea how to play together. No idea how to play together. Now, some of that has to come down to their responsibility. I'm not sitting here saying the players are outstanding tonight and it was all Southgate that couldn't get him playing. But the players can only do so much of what they're asked. And if this guy cannot get the best out of this group of players, sorry, man. Sorry, but he's got to go. I'm fuming. I'm sitting here trying to enjoy the football. I've had 3 games of absolute dross. And people are saying, it's the players. Bellingham's pretty crap. Foden, awful, overrated. Saka, not good enough. Kane, overrated. Sorry, not good enough. Look at the teams in this list. Do you think that any of these teams look outstanding? Are we quaking in our boots because Germany have got Kai Havertz up front? Are we quaking in our boots because France have just drawn against Poland? Are we going, oh my God, Spain, look at their amazing team? No, we're not. No, we're not. This is an England squad that's got unbelievable players. And for those that don't think we've got unbelievable players, by the way, take a look at what they've won in the last few years. Trent Alexander-Arnold's won everything in football at the age of 24. At the same age, you've got Phil Foden, who's done the same thing. You've got Bellingham, who's up for Ballon d'Ors, just won a Premier League and Champions League. Sorry, La Liga and Champions League. You've got Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka that people might laugh because I'm an Arsenal fan. They haven't won anything in football. Look at them. They've just taken us forward in Saka into 2 title races, and Declan Rice has taken us to a new level in terms of the way we're playing football. This is a good team. Cole Palmer scored 30 goals for Chelsea. We've got John Stones, who's won Champions Leagues. I don't see what we're looking at going, yeah, they're not good enough, them players. They're not good enough. What more do we need then? What more do we need? It makes absolutely no sense. Sack the guy. Get rid of him. I don't want him anywhere near the England setup anymore. I'm absolutely done with it. I'm done with it. So let's be real. I'm not expecting England to go and trounce France 3-0 or Germany by 4. But if we can't beat Slovenia and we can't beat Denmark and we scrimp and scream across the line against Serbia, the manager has to ask why we are doing that. And there has to be pressure on him. I'm sorry. You know, there needs to be criticism in football because otherwise you just sit back and go, well, we're top of the group. It's all good. It don't matter. This is why Arsenal have been in a mess for so long. This is why we've been in a mess for the last 2 decades. We haven't won a title because it's all fine with top 4. Who cares? Don't matter. Don't matter FC. But it's the players. Well, it's not the players, man. These players have won trophies. This manager ain't. It is an embarrassment to have him as our manager. Embarrassing. I've never seen anything like this football-wise with a group of talented players. If I said to you now, this team are England, have you seen them? They go, cool. They're going to struggle, aren't they? What players? Where'd you find them from? Oh no, they've won Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues and they've won Premier League trophies. What, this lot? No, they ain't, mate. I don't watch football, but I can tell you they ain't. That's what these people will be saying to me. There's no way you could tell the difference between Slovenia and England tonight. No way. No way you could tell the difference between Denmark and England or Serbia and England. This is teams that are going to get nowhere near past us, and we couldn't do it. And people will go, chill out, we're top of the group, we can still go win it. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. As a team, England cannot play. Yes, James, why do you think that is? Because Southgate is not good enough. The manager has got no idea how to play us. Let me talk to you about this great manager that people seem to love and think is good and brilliant. Best we've had since Sir Alf Ramsey. Best we've had. No, he's not. Sven was bloody better than him. Bobby Robson was better than him. We've got so many managers that England have had over the years. Kevin Keegan was better than him. Glenn Hoddle was better than him. Terry Venables was better than him. That's just in my era. The only ones, in my opinion, that were worse than him were Roy Hodgson and Graham Taylor. This guy's terrible. Absolutely awful. So, unfortunately, you're going to get a lot of stick, Sir Gareth. And I'll tell you why. Kieran Trippier is not a left back. But according to Gareth Southgate, he is one. He hasn't got a left foot. It's actually quite embarrassing watching him try and play with his right foot, right foot, right foot. Gareth Southgate's reason for playing him is because he gives us width. Gives us width. My God. What width is that then, Gareth? Because he hasn't got a left foot. He doesn't beat any men. He doesn't take them on the outside and he doesn't whip balls in. So what width does he bring us? It's an absolute shambles. Kieran Trippier's got a good delivery on him with his right foot at a right back position. So no, we don't play him there. We play him at left back. Mark Guehi. You're the only one who gets a round of applause, my friend, because in the last 3 games, you have 100% been our best player. It's not even been close. Mark Guehi has been the best England player in the last 3. Absolutely superb in the last 3 games, Mark Guehi. Fair play. But let's be real. He's not sure what to do at right back. He's not sure what to do at left back. He's not sure what to do in midfield. He's not sure what to do at left wing. And he ain't sure what to do at number 10. So in the first 3 games, it's been an experiment. And people might say, well, that's fine then. We've gone top. We've gone top. Don't matter. It does matter. Because we ain't going to win nothing playing like this. So our left back is a problem. Who would I play there? I'd change it round completely now. I don't want to be seeing Trippier playing at left back anymore. I'd rather see Gomez play there if we're going to play an unnatural fullback there, because at least he's played well there. Then people say to me, what about Saka? And people laughed at it. I've never laughed at it because I tell you what, Saka would do a much better job there than Trippier, and he'd take players on the outside, and it would free up his role so Palmer could play there as well, who I thought was brilliant when he came on, by the way. Only one who looked like he was trying to do something. So maybe that's an option. Maybe you play Kyle Walker at left back and Trent at right back. Maybe. So I do get frustrated when people sit there and say, but we haven't got anyone. What's he bought Luke Shaw for, people? Why has he not bought Tyreek Mitchell? Someone said Alfie Doughty the other day. Why has he not bought Tyreek Mitchell, who's been brilliant for Palace? Why has he not done that? He's bought Luke Shaw, who can't play. It's a shambles. Sack this manager tonight. It is a disgrace what we are seeing. Shambles. Absolute shambles. Sick and tired of him, man. Sick and tired of him. Let me go into midfield. For 2 games, he's played Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's now failed. Conor Gallagher, in you come. 45 minutes. That's now failed. Kobbie Mainoo, in you come. So we're 3 games in, and he's still trying to work out who we should play in midfield. With 3 games in, he's still playing Foden left. With 3 games in, he's still playing Walker at right back and not Trent. Now, people will love Walker and fair play, but he hasn't had a great season for Manchester City. Trent's been better. Oh, but he can't defend. Let John Stones and Rice do their job. He won't need to defend. That's the way I see it. Allow those 2 to sacrifice Trent having to defend so that he can do everything going forward. The manager doesn't want to do that because it's very, very, very important that we stick together to be defensive, because 0-0 is better than trying to win 1-0. That's what he believes. This manager is so scared, it is embarrassingly bad. So that's the midfield situation. Rice and Bellingham, I thought were poor today again. Didn't see anything from either of them. And then we go over to the right-hand side. We've got Bukayo Saka. We've got Palmer that can come on. Now let's talk about the left-hand side, because Phil Foden has some bright spark moments, but he is not best out there. But he's putting him out there and he's sticking by it. Now, it's absolutely fine to have Harry Kane dropping deep, but it's not fine, 1, to have him that deep, and 2, to have everybody back deep with him. Because when Harry Kane is in your own half, and the whole of your team is as well, there's absolutely no point of having Harry Kane on the pitch, because he is not an outlet, and he's not flicking it onto anybody because there's no one around him. So what the fucking hell are we trying to do? What is the tactics here? What is the game plan here? Where is the change to try and allow some creativity? Where's the spark gone with this England side? Where's Saka's runs? Where's Bellingham's drive on the ball? Where's Declan Rice's interceptions and through balls? Where's Harry Kane and Fox in the box? Where's Foden in terms of his skill and technique? We're not allowed to be shown it because he's honestly useless. I've seen no great things from this England setup. And it is not that these players are crap. Don't tell me these players are crap, by the way, when they've just been winning trophies in front of our very eyes. We've watched 38 league games, each that we have watched for the whole of that 9-month period. And you're going to tell me that England have got a crap squad. Don't tell me it's a crap squad. It's a good squad. In fact, it's a great squad. He's spoiled. Ask Slovenia tonight if they'd like to swap squads. Because that was a poor side. And if anyone's sitting there going, nah, it's not Southgate's fault, what's he supposed to do? Look at the team, it's crap. They just can't turn up on the night. Make them then. You're a good manager, apparently. You're good with the media. But you know what? That's where it stops. You're shit after that. Shocking manager. Terrible on the tactic boards. Doesn't have a clue what he's doing. I'm sick and tired of seeing these absolutely abysmal players, that have been over the years trying to get themselves into this side. And then when we finally get really good squad, this guy's ruining it. I'm sick and tired of seeing the crap we've seen in England over the years. Some of the players. It was a shambles over the years. The Capello era. We're coming off the back of the Gerrards and Lampards and Rooneys. We were having Smalling and Jones at the back. Gary Cahill was our best centre-half. In midfield, Michael Carrick and Gareth Barry were probably the best pair that we had. We had nothing coming through. Now, it's changed. And we've got a lot of good players. But the manager ain't good enough. And I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, you don't like it because Southgate's your boy and I like his waistcoat and he's the one, Southgate's the one. You can, bloody football's coming home again, all this crap. Embarrassing, if I'm honest with you. Embarrassing. Loving a manager who has been absolutely boring as hell to watch. I don't understand this obsession and love for it. And why is it with nowadays football fans that can't take criticism? I love Declan Rice, but he's come out saying, why can't you all get behind us and show us some love? Roy Keane said it right. Start winning some games and we'll all bloody love you. This is the problem. We've got a manager who's playing shockingly bad football. We're coming all for the players. This is the manager. It's the manager. And the reason it's the manager is because Jose Mourinho is taking us across the line. Carlo Ancelotti is taking us across the line. These managers have been there and done it. This guy has not. This guy has not. Absolutely has not. So I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of this football. I'm sick and tired of the fans that are behind this Gareth Southgate guy and the amount of clashes that fans bases have had by saying, not sure he's the right guy. Disgrace. Most successful manager since South Ramsey. I don't care. Most successful, we haven't won anything. We've got to the same positions that Keegan, Venables, Sven, Capello all could not do. Roy Hodgson, Graham Taylor, Sir Bobby Robson. All these managers got us to a quarter-final, semi-final and more. And we're loving this guy. Why is that? Why is that? What is it that he's done? What is so tactically brilliant about Gareth Southgate? Is it because we're not going to lose 3-0? Is it not because we're not going to get spanked by 4? Is it because we're not going to be able to lose a game in a scenario if we go 2-0 up or 1-0 up? Like, what's so great about Gareth Southgate? I don't get it, man. The guy didn't even want the job, by the way. He was gifted it because of the Sam Allardyce scandal. Honestly, so sick and tired of it. And every single game is the same. So what do I want to see next? Something I want to see is, believe it or not, something I've been calling out for the whole of this tournament. Pick the right players in their right positions. Pickford plays in goal. Trent plays at right back. Then you go as a back 4 with John Stones, Guehi and Joe Gomez. Then in your midfield, you go with Rice, Bellingham and Foden. And then you play Saka, Palmer and Kane. And if you believe Joe Gomez cannot play at left back, then do not blame Joe Gomez, Kieran Trippier or Luke Shaw. Blame Gareth Southgate because he ain't bought enough cover at left back. If you want Saka there, fine. If you want 3 at the back, Walker, Stones, Gehi, Saka, and Trent, try that. But there needs to be something. I cannot deal with watching this absolute dross. They are shambolic. So let's take some of your comments because I want to know what's happening here. Abdul says, Dan, have you thought that England are overrated and not as good as we think? They're surrounded by world-class talent at club level. Listen, Abdul, I respect you, but this team is the best it's been in decades. Look at what they're winning at club level. Are you telling me it's all the players that are around them that aren't English that are good? And the Fodens and Bellingham should never be up for Ballon d'Or because he's been crap for Real Madrid. Palmer's 30 goals didn't mean anything because it was the foreign players around him. Come on, bruv, you're better than that. It's the manager. 100% it's the manager. Ray Beam says, I'd love to see the player value of the Slovenia squad versus England. Pretty sure there'll be extra zeros for England. Absolutely. What a waste of 8 years with this Muppet at the helm. His post-match chat was cringy as it always is. I haven't seen that yet. I don't even want to see it yet. Honestly. Newman, big up, says Southgate would make dry and paint yawn. Dry and paint yawn. He bloody would, I'll tell you that now, bruv. He really would. Where else are we at? Mark, big up, says the tactics are making the players look like they can't play together. Stones stopped from taking the ball forward. Foden stuck out on the left instead of marauding down the middle. Absolutely agree with you. Absolute criminal that Rashford, Grealish and Maddison are not in the squad. That doesn't even bother me so much, if I'm honest, because he's not going to be using them players right anyway. He's got Manu and Gallagher who are his 2 go-tos because he loves a midfielder that runs around. He does love a Mason Mount. He does love a Jordan Henderson. And I understand there's a place for hard-working midfielders. That's not my point. But they're not the players you bring on when you need to score. The players you bring on when you need to score are Cole Palmer, Anthony Gordon, Ivan Toney, and Ollie Watkins, and even Eze. And we've seen glimpses of a few of them, but we haven't really seen enough of them. The most used position in substitutions have been his central midfield. And Trent's played there. Kobe Mainoo's played there. Bellingham's played there. Rice has played there. Gallagher's played there. How many players does he need in midfield in 3 games to work out what his best midfielder is? Ain't that what the friendlies were for? Shocking. After the Croatia semi in Russia, I said this is where we'd go with Southgate. And here we are. You're absolutely the same as me, bro. Absolutely the same as me. Oh, here we go. Jonas says, who will come in after Southgate? I don't care, if I'm honest. It needs to be someone better than this guy. And I would take Graham Potter already out. If they want English manager, I'd have him. But for me, I'd go for Ancelotti or Mourinho. Klopp, Pep, someone like that. I don't care. Go and get the best manager that's out there. Go and get the best managers out there who can play football. I don't give a damn. That's what I'll be doing. Where else are we? Brendan says, drop Bellingham, play Mainu and right with Rice, Foden as attacking midfield and Gordon on the wing. I would not mind seeing something like that because for me, we need to be looking at it seriously now and make changes. Sensi, big up for the super chat. Make sure you get super chats in, people. Any questions you've got, put a Q at the start of it. Let's take some of your questions. I want to know what you fans are up to tonight and what you're up to with this manager because for me, I'm fuming, me. Absolutely crazy, bruv. I cannot believe how bad we are. So bad. Sensi says, as an Arsenal fan, this tournament's really opened my eyes. Majority of our players are bums. Being elevated by Arteta's system, everyone's been exposed. What does he mean here? Sorry, this Arsenal fan, this tournament really opened my eyes. Does he mean England players or Arsenal players? I'm really confused here. We talk about Arsenal here or England. Arteta, what's he being mentioned for here? I'm so confused. Someone let me know in the chat. Let me know what you mean, Sensi. Put it in again and let me know what you mean, but don't super chat it and I'll put it up on the screen. My opinion is the manager isn't good enough. The manager is not good enough. I don't care what anybody tells me. The manager has let himself down big time. And I don't think it's fair for us to be looking at players and pointing at the players and saying what we're doing here because with players out of position, with a team that haven't played with each other before, with a team that ain't played with each other before is hard enough. It's hard enough when you ain't played with each other and you're playing out of position as well. Double whammy. Lil Tim's big up says, Dan, the last team to sack a manager in mid-tournament, that team won the AFCON. Why can't we? Facts. Absolute facts. Ivory Coast, they sacked their manager and they won the AFCON. There we go. That's why we need to get rid of him. But we won't. We'll stick with him. Yusuf, how far do you think England will go this tournament? I think we'll probably get to the quarterfinals or semi-finals. And if we get one of the following teams, we will go out. France, Germany or Portugal. There we go. Do you know what? We might even lose to Spain as well, way we're playing. Because all of them are better than us this year. It's absolutely crazy. Sensi, here we go. You bought into the media narrative, Potts. These players play with world-class foreigners and world-class foreign managers with world-class systems. The English players are nothing but a footnote. I do not understand where all of this is coming from. This is basically saying that all of the English players in the Premier League and all of the English talent around the world is actually very overrated. And the only reason that Manchester City are winning anything is not because of their player of the season, Phil Foden. It's not because of Kyle Walker and John Stones at the back. It's all because Haaland scores their goals. And that's it. Load of rubbish. Declan Rice and Saka are very overrated. And the only reason Arsenal challenge is because of Ødegaard. Rubbish. Absolute nonsense. So I don't know what this is all about, man. It really is absolutely no sense at all. Nick makes a good point here by saying that Southgate had absolutely no excuse for not taking Ben Chilwell and Tyreek Mitchell. Both of those players, by the way, are better than Kieran Trippier at left back. Let me agree with you there. Newman says he took Shaw, who plays one game every 3 months. Embarrassing, wasn't it? Absolutely embarrassing. Reggie says Mourinho managing England will send fans wild in a good way. I'd take it. People believe he's the worst manager because it's crap football. You don't like Southgate, you'll hate Mourinho. No, I won't if he's doing that at the end of it, will I? Because I grew up on George Graham football, mate. That's what happens. Embarrassing. Ratish says, big up, Dan. With a proper manager, England are capable of winning the Euros, especially in the bottom half of the draw. Listen, with a proper manager, England should have won a tournament by now. But we haven't had a proper manager, mate. That's how bad it is. Absolutely crazy. Nick also says, I'd have Wenger as England manager over Southgate all day long. Would you? Yes. Bring him now. I would take him now. I'd take Zidane now who's available. I'd take Wenger now who's available. I'd take Klopp now who's available. I'd take Potter now who's available. There's 4 names for you. Unbelievable that people actually believe. It's honestly crazy. He says that Jude Bellingham's been crap for 3 games, ran around like a headless chicken. I wasn't impressed with him tonight, and I wasn't impressed with him against Denmark, but he was by far our best player in the first game against Serbia. And this is not a Jude Bellingham thing. Trust me. I've seen what he does in a Real Madrid shirt. He's a phenomenal talent, mate. Wenger should be our manager. People call him for Arsene Wenger. Here we go. Who's made more of an impact, Morata or Kane? Neither of them. I don't rate Morata at all. I suppose if he's been good for Spain, you can say him. But let's be real. Harry Kane is a top talent. Spain and Germany are favourites, Dan. Yep, absolutely. I'm not saying that we should be trouncing them, but I'm saying we should be trouncing Denmark, Serbia and Slovenia with the players that we got in comparison to them. Lil Tim says, Dan, I'd go and get Klopp now. Who would you get? Yeah, Klopp. I'd offer it to Klopp. I'd offer it to Zidane. I'd offer it to bloody... what's the name? Don Carlo, bloody Mourinho. I'd go as all that I can. I'd go throw everything at one of those managers for sure. Here we go. Abdul's come back and says, but Dan, Man City would still win the Premier League without Foden. They just get Florian Wirtz. That's not my point, though, bruv. That's not my point. My point is they've won it with Phil Foden. Yeah? They've won it with Phil Foden, and he was their player of the season. Do you think he was the player of the season because the other 10 players were carrying him? What are we trying to do here? These players are not overrated. They might be overrated in terms of the best in the world, but they're not overrated when people say that they're good team players, because they are good team players. All of them have good ability. They're all technically gifted. It's crazy that people believe this. Uncomfortable truth, Dan. England are winning nothing since 66 is proving me right. Yeah, well, we're not going to win anything with this manager, that's for sure. Dan, can you tell me what Arsenal's system is? Dan, you can tell me what Arsenal's system is, but you can tell me Southgate's system. I don't know what you mean, bro. I can't tell. Short answer is no. Yeah, I agree with you. I can't understand what Gareth Southgate's system is. There's no style of play from what I can see. It's really, really poor. Nando says, would you drop Kane and Foden next game? No, I wouldn't. I'll keep playing the same team, but in different positions. And the only positions I'd switch would be Foden would be number 10. Trent would be right back. Foden would go into the middle. and Palmer would go on the left. I personally would drop Trippier because I think he's terrible. Yeah, I think he's in a decline of a footballer, if I'm honest, anyway. But also at left back, I'll just play Joe Gomez there because he's the only one we've really got that can play there. That's what's needed. I want Roy Keane as a coach so he can kick some ass. Yeah, do you know what? That's the sort of thing we need right now, personally. Someone to come in and just absolutely go in. Lil Tim said, should Rice really be criticised because he was as a partner, he's a ball progressor, whereas Southgate is giving him Gallagher. Rice definitely should be criticised. So should Bellingham. Doesn't mean they're crap players. It means they're not playing well. But I think the system or lack of is a massive issue as to why these players aren't getting it right because all of them can't play together. So it's either all of them are actually rubbish and should be playing for Stoke City or the manager should be managing Stoke City because he ain't good enough. Jillian says, damn, one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Sack this fraud. 100%. Absolutely 100%. Binny Guy says, we need somebody with some authority. 100%. It's just mad. It really is mad. Let's take some more of your questions here. I think Gordon has to start, says Yusuf. Nick says, I think Bellingham should play as a number 8, box to box. Danny, you're going to be doing live transfer news, Q&A. Yes, I will be doing that. That will be tomorrow. Won't be today because it's England today, but there will be one tomorrow. Myself and Lee Judges have done one on his channel earlier. So if you do want to go and have that, I'll give that a watch, then please do. Mark Covington says, Arteta as the New England manager, Dan. I would rather have Arteta than Gareth Southgate. Let me tell you this right now. Any day of the week, I would be having him. I just think the guy is absolutely terrible. I can't understand anybody that believes this is good football. Please explain to me if anyone believes we're playing good football. Let me know in the chat. Say yes or no. Are England playing top quality football under Gareth Southgate? Yes or no? That's all I need you to put in. Yes or no? Yes means I'm happy with Gareth Southgate. No means I want him gone and I want him replaced. And I know it's not going to happen. I understand it's not going to happen. I understand we're not going to go and get a Graham Potter or a Zidane overnight. But I would be doing that from the FA. I'm going over to Zidane and I'm saying, got these top quality players here, Zizou. Sort them out. Go win them this trophy. That's the way I see it. That is the way I see it. Got a lot of players, people in the chat saying, no, 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 no. So you're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me. He is a poor manager. And unfortunately, we're stuck with him. We're stuck with him. Now, the only good news is Gareth Southgate has got this tournament and this tournament only. I honestly believe that even if we win it, he will go. And I cannot wait for him to go. Because it is boring football. There is no tactics. There's no understanding of subs. There's no understanding of team selections. Everybody knows that Conor Gallagher was not the right option. Everybody knows Trent shouldn't be in midfield. Everybody knows Trent should be right back. Everybody knows Foden's better as a 10. Everybody knows Palmer needs more game time on the left. Everybody knows Trippier's not a left back, so he ain't got a left foot. People know this, but Gareth Southgate does not. And to finish it off, Neil, this is class. Southgate is allergic to a trophy. Is he a Tottenham fan? Yes, he probably is. I'm going to leave it there, people. Make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you hit the like on this, yeah? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to get up to 30k pretty soon. So let's make sure that we are loving life by smashing the like and the subscribe on this one. Make sure you go check out Lee Judge's TV from earlier as well. If you're Arsenal fans, lots and lots of rumours today on that show. So please make sure you go over and speak and listen to myself and Lee. And we'll see you tomorrow, people. Take it easy. We're out of here. And Southgate out.